We're going to jump right in today with a question from Doris, who says she likes Picasa but wonders if there's a full program of Picasa. And I think what she's wanting is if there's more editing capabilities. And no, there is no full version of Picasa. What you get is what you get when you go to Picasa.com. If you want to have more capabilities for editing your photos, look into Adobe Photoshop Elements or the GIMP project, G-I-M-P, which is an open source kind of Photoshop type program. Henry is getting a lot of spoof emails. That's what it's called, Henry, when you get email that says it's from you, but it actually is spam. The best thing you can do is get a good anti-spam product, like I recommend the cloudmark.com Cloudmark Desktop, which is a great anti-spam for if you're using Mozilla Thunderbird, Outlook, or Outlook Express on the Windows environment, or if you are akin to using it, I would recommend Gmail. Has a very good spam filter, and it will spam out automatically those spoofing type emails. Andrew has a Mac question where he's lost his little hard drive icon on the desktop. To try to recover that, click your Apple icon in the upper left hand corner and then click System Preferences. Click the Finder Preferences, and under that General tab in the Finder there should be a series of checkboxes on which icons you want to show on your desktop. Click the ones you want and you should be in business. Gene has an interesting question here that I think comes up quite often, where people think when they're looking at photos in different programs that they have duplicate photos. Chances are you do not have duplicate photos. When you view a photo in different programs, it's pulling the photo that you're viewing in from your folders. More than likely, if you haven't changed it, using Windows XP, it's in the My Pictures folder. So look in your My Pictures folder. As long as you don't see duplicates in there, you can be assured that you do not have duplicates on your computer. Or if you put them in different places or use different programs to import those photos, then there may be a chance that you do have some duplicates. The Picasa program that I talk about so often does have a tool where you can have it help you look for the duplicate photos on your computer. John has a question on how to shut off the magnifier that's included with Windows Vista. In your taskbar, John, all the little icons of the programs that are running on your system will show up. Just right-click on the magnifier icon on your taskbar and then click Close, and you'll be out of the magnifier. Rayanne is one of the many people that are having problems with the Internet Explorer 8 update. In her case, it's bothering people PC, and the only way you can block that in Windows XP, and it'll only do it for a short time, is to go ahead and click on the update icon and then click Custom Install, and then when you go to the next screen, uncheck the Internet Explorer 8 box, click Next. It's going to ask you, are you sure you don't want to install it, and do you not want to be notified about that update again? Click Yes, and then you won't hear from them for about 2 or 3 months. I think it does a 60 to 90 day delay before it asks for it again. Craig is doing some shopping for a laptop, and he's debating now that laptops have become so cheap, is it better off to get a lower cost laptop or a netbook? For my money, if you're doing it for traveling and you're just primarily doing email and internet and looking up maps and things like that while you're traveling, the netbook is by far better because it's so much smaller. The battery lives are generally a little bit better than the bigger laptops. However, if you're using it as a primary computer or a primary laptop and you don't have another laptop, you may want to look into probably a $500 to $600 and up laptop, because if you get the $300 or $400 laptops that are full size, they're going to be severely underpowered for the Windows Vista that comes on it. Janet wants to do some iron-ons, and she's wondering what can she do to print the mirror image that's necessary for iron-ons. So Janet, the best thing to do is right-click on your particular printer, go into its properties, and then you're going to hunt around under either the Advanced section or in the General tab. Either the Advanced tab or in the General tab, you can go to Printing Preferences, and then you're just going to look around depending on your particular printer and look for the option to print as a mirror image. And when you do that, that'll give you the option you need for doing your iron-ons. Maury has a question about trying to hide some things from their computer guy or something. I don't quite understand the question, but I think if you want to clean up the history that you're doing on the internet or your cookies and things like that, use one of the two tools I have on my website at helpmerick.com, either CCleaner or Cleanup, and I have them both in the lower right hand corner under my links and resources section at helpmerick.com, and they will do, I believe, what you want to do. Leo is writing about a question he wrote in about in a previous video cast where he was having problems with using the backspace key in Outlook Express, and it turns out that he did end up using the system restore, and that was able to get him back up and running, which is always a good thing to try first, because things happen sometimes that get corrupt in your system, or an update corrupted something, and doing the system restore is the least invasive, quickest way to try to get those little problems resolved. Ryan has a question about his screen flashes when he's extracting zip files. Ryan, I don't know if I can help you with that because without seeing that particular problem, but you may not have enough video memory. You may need a new video card driver. You can check some of those things. It could be a ton of different things, but try those first. That might help you, but without seeing that particular problem, hard to tell. Shirley cannot create a system restore point, and she's not sure what's going on. So what you need to do, Shirley, is you're using Windows XP, is right-click My Computer, go to Properties. After you click Properties, go to the System Restore tab, and I would disable System Restore. If it's not already disabled, disable it, restart your computer, go back into the same place, and then re-enable it, restart your computer again, and then see if that opens up the restore for you. Jason's using the Windows Live Mail program, and he wants to print out multiple copies of his email at one time. It's not going to be able to happen, especially with that program, Jason, and very few other programs will let you do that. The old Outlook Express, or in some cases Thunderbird, you might be able to export the messages as a single file and then print them that way, but you'll lose formatting and you'll lose some data that you may want in the email. But no, if you've got that many emails, I think you're just going to be pushing the print button 900 times. Donna, there is no manual for Picasa. You can go to their help section, and they have a lot of good online help. I do have 2 or 3 videos on the website that show you how to use Picasa. The difference between an album and a folder, an album is an internal organization structure within Picasa. So for example, if you have 3 different folders that have pictures of your grandkids and you want to combine your grandkids into one album, that lets you view the photos only within Picasa as a single album where you get those photos from various folders. A folder in Picasa is the same thing as a folder in Windows. It's a container that holds your photos. And you cannot delete a photo in Picasa and not have it delete in your My Pictures or wherever you're storing your photos, because they're one and the same. If you want to delete a photo out of Picasa, the best thing to do is move it to another folder and then tell Picasa not to watch that particular folder. Janine has a question that's real similar to one we just talked about a few minutes ago regarding different programs looking at your photos. And so the answer, I believe, Janine, is no. You're not going to have the programs, 2 different programs that are looking at photos, import those photos twice. They're the same photos, you're just viewing them from different locations. Dave, I wonder if you've actually updated to one of the newer versions of Adobe and it's slowing things down on your system, or if maybe you're just printing larger PDF files. But irregardless, what I would suggest doing is go to my website, helpmerick.com, and look for Foxit Reader. I have it in the lower right-hand corner in the links and resources section of my site. It's a lightweight PDF reader. You can uninstall Adobe and use this instead. I think you're going to find better performance. Scott recently bought a new hard drive, and if you're not using them, absolutely, they're safe to delete. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Rick Answers His Email. I'll try to get back on track and doing it more regularly. Thanks for writing in. Thanks for visiting helpmerick.com.